Hey guys, welcome back to the video. So let's get started with the topic ahead of this as well. Acha, now elements of the weather. Acha, now let's try to talk about the elements of the weather. So first we are having temperature. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna read a little bit faster. Once I'm finished with one paragraph, and then in the end I'm gonna explain you if it's gonna be a little bit difficult for you to understand. All right. Okay. So let's get started. So it says over here that we have already learned some of the ways in which temperature influences people. It affects what we feel, what we wear, and what we can grow. It also affects other weather conditions. For example, the amount of water vapor and the air can be held, but depends on the temperature of the air. So what it's saying over here that due to the weather, our mood and our lifestyle changes. Our way of clothes changes. The way we wear clothes, the way we grow things, because yes, in every season we cannot grow every crop. Okay, so exactly like that. It also affects the weather conditions as well. And for example, the amount of the water vapor. Acha, well, now the temperature is changing the weather conditions. How? So see, if the amount of the water depends on the amount of the water vapors. If the weather is going to be in such a way that it's going to be less dry, more humid, so the water vapors in the atmosphere is going to be a lot, which in that situation we will say that the humidity is high. Nami zyada hai, humidity zyada hai, pasina nahi sook raha. So in that situation we're going to call that due to the temperature or in the weather is it's dry, it's not dry, it's wet. That means the water vapor is a lot, humidity is a lot, and sweat cannot get dry. However, if it's very much dry weather, due to the cold temperature, अक्सर cold temperatures में dry weather होती है. So what happens that in that particular case, we tend to use a lot of lotions, a lot of moisturizers on our hands, to make sure that it feels like very nice and soft instead of really dry. It happens, some people have this problem when their skin gets pretty much dry than usual. Acha. Then adding further to that the measure of the temperature. Now over here we're going to understand that how we can measure the temperature. Okay, so it says over here that the thermometer is an instrument used to measure the temperature of the air. Acha, theek hai. At the weather station, thermometers are kept in Stevenson screen shown in figure 1.9. This is Stevenson screen. Okay, so what it says over here, that how do the labeled feature allow the thermometers to measure the temperature as accurately as possible? Now it's a question. Okay, in addition to an ordinary thermometer which gives a single reading, a maximum and minimum sixes, the thermometer shown in figure 1.10 is also used. 1.10, this is a thermometer which shows the maximums and the minimums at the same time. The modern thermometers are a little bit different than this one. This is kind of a little bit old school thermometer. Not that much old school. The modern ones are a little bit easier, different. They are digital. It's easier to see the temperature and everything. Okay, acha. Now this Stevenson screen, let me research that on Google, and let me show you that what is actually inside the Stevenson screen, because you see we cannot really understand that what is inside this. Okay, it looks like a very small freaking tower, right? So let's try to research that together. All right, so guys, as you can see on your screen, I've opened here a picture of the Stevenson screen. Let me just zoom into that a little bit that we can see it and try to understand this together. Yep. So there's a dry bulb thermometer over here, the minimum temperature thermometer over here, and the maximum temperature thermometer over here, and the wet bulb thermometer over here. So what is happening over here, that taking the readings from all of these thermometers, then they're coming up with an average temperature. It seems like that's pretty much is what is happening. And if you see a really different okay, yeah, this was the exact same thing that we have in our book as well. Okay, so let me just kind of zoom into these pictures from here from my laptop. Okay, and what's inside this Stevenson thermometer? Oh wow, this is bulb, and probably this is the mercury. And see, it's like complete mechanical thing going inside. Wow, that's great. That's really amazing. We can watch a YouTube video together as well, but I don't want any copyrights from any other YouTubers. Okay, that's wonderful. So guys, now that we have seen that what is inside the Stevenson screen, let's move further. So over here it says that in figure number 10, 1.10 shows the indicator index and stays at the position to which it is pushed by the mercury or alcohol in the glass tube and the thermometer. Even the mercury has moved down. Look at the mercury at 25 degrees. What temperature earlier? What temperature was the earlier temperature earlier? What was the temperature earlier? Temperature is measured every day and recorded in the degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, okay? So you guys might be confused that, why do some people use Celsius? Why do some people use Fahrenheit? So see, it depends on from country to country, region to region. So some countries have the SI unit international system. Some people have the metric system. It's probably because of that. Because let's say that if you go to United States, so they use miles, okay? But in Pakistan and the Asian countries, usually the people use the kilometers, okay? Like, kilometer per hour, and they use miles per hour. And then we here in Pakistan use the kilograms, kgs, okay? And whereas in the in the other countries, they use pounds, okay? So please don't get confused in that. So see guys, see over here, before it was saying that look at the mercury at 25 degrees Celsius. What was the temperature earlier? So you need to understand over here. So see, this side of the thermometer is telling us the temperature in the minus, okay? And over here, it's telling us the temperature in the plus, okay? So over here, when we see that the mercury level is at 25, somewhere between 20 to 30, so the temperature is in plus, and this plus temperature represents that it is hot, right? And if it is over here between 20 to 10, but in the minus, so it's telling us that it's minus 25, which is hell cold. It's a lot of cold, okay? Usually you get these temperatures in at a very, very high peaks of the mountains, like, some very popular peaks in Pakistan, like K2, Nanga Parbat, the Pasu cones. And also you get these severe temperatures in the countries like Canada, Sweden, I don't know, maybe Russia, or the Siberia as well. Oh, sorry. Over there, the temperature is even crazier than that. It's in like, minus 45, minus 40. And that is a temperature, when they, you must have seen these videos on YouTube that when they throw a glass of water, a really hot boiling glass of water outside of their windows. So before the water gets a chance to fall on the surface, it gets literally frozen. So that cold we're talking about over here. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. We're gonna be discussing about how air is heated. Okay, because this is a little bit longer topic. That one, the how air is heated. So it's gonna require a different separate video, a separate explanation for this one as well. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video again and coming to the channel. So yep, like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Share it with your parents, with your cousins, blah blah blah, whomever you want to share. Drop down a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. And I hope that this was beneficial for you. And you should be happy because you are getting this chance to study at your home. No need to go to tuition for this subject. I'm telling you each and everything in very much details, okay? And I'm even showing you how the things are working on the Google as well. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.